Hello, this is Reginald Bennett.
And Josh Costera.
So this is going to be SIE 598, Augmented Reality. We're going to talk about a little bit about the class we're going to be doing for the next couple of months here in the summer of 2014 at the University of Maine Orono. Here's a quick class description. We'll be working on engineering new concepts based on augmented reality. Look at some of the applications for aging populations, and primarily be focused on a set of AR goggles that we have. Course for graduate work here during the summer, and those are the glasses there. We'll point a little bit more out toward the end. Course requirements, we're just going to again work on what we can do with augmented reality, kind of push the limits of what we can do with these glasses, and then see how we can apply that to making folks' lives easier. I have a few different ideas already, but we got to get some things working first.
We've had mild success with the glasses actually working so far. They proceed to cause my computer to crash every time. We can't get them installed on one computer, and the other computer they work reasonably well, so more testing to be done with that.
So the glasses we're using are some Vuzix Wrap 920 AR. The box, this is a few years old, I think circa 2010. It comes with the glasses, as mentioned, carrying case, which is just a little carrying case, product key so we can use some of their software, a couple markers, which in later videos will show you what they do. Essentially, when you look at these, you can program the glasses that when they see these markers, they'll actually impose like a 3D element, or like a little dragon or a cube or something like that. Comes with two different USB VGA controllers. One has a VGA port, and the other one has the ability to do the old style iPod video out, and some other random pieces of equipment in there. So that's those. So yeah, we've tried using these on 3 machines. Now, you said a couple months ago you installed it on one of your computers. You got it working with Counter-Strike, right?
Yeah, it wasn't the. I installed a different, not the software for the version we have, but for the 920 VR glasses, which don't have the cameras on the front. They're just basically act as a second monitor, and you can actually play video games with them. It's a little hard to see, but.
And they gave you, because there's, and so to kind of orient to the glasses, so these are the Vuzix 920. And the augmented reality, that's the AR. They have 2 offset cameras in the front, and then 2 screens in the back. And so, with them being offset, it allows you to do the stereoscopic view, and as well as video capture in a stereoscopic mode. And so, the way the manual works, it just says that they're just regular USB cameras that are synced, and then they're delivered to each eye, and then based on their own custom plugin called Max Reality that you can use with 3D Studio, not 3D Studio.
3ds Max.
Yeah. So Autodesk.
Yeah. Autodesk.
Yeah, I think it's Autodesk 3D Max. And you use that plugin, and that will allow you to sync the 2 USB camera videos, as well as do analysis on what you're getting, so that you know if you need to put something over the top of this, like maybe a warning sign or whatever it is you're trying to do with your augmented reality application. And so, when you're playing the game, did you get a 3D effect from the stereoscopic view, or?
It was hard to tell the difference for me, but it says you can either play it with the stereoscopic or just as a monitor split between the 2 eyes.
And so this thing is supposed to replicate essentially a 67-inch screen at an approximate 10-foot distance. I have found that with the limited success so far, and this is the first week we've had them. This is our second meeting here. When you get the screen up and working, it is pretty decent for, especially given the resolution's not all that great. But it's a nice screen, and the offset is not blurry, which I found interesting. I thought with it having a fixed distance, not customized to the user's face, I thought there was going to be an issue as far as the overlap of the 2 screens. But I didn't really encounter any issues there, so that is fortunate that it'll work well. So yeah, again, it has 2 cameras in the front, the 2 lenses in the back. It has 2 ports here for audio, so that can be configured. On the top here is how you adjust the lenses. It comes with a little screwdriver and the VGA controllers. Oh yeah, and then
We have a tracker that does
and so
up, down, left, right, forward, and back.
so
And it plugs into the inside of the glasses.
So the technical manual says that this will track pitch, yaw, and rotation. Is that right?
Yeah.
It'll do those, and then with that motion controller that was just showed, this little thing, it plugs right in here, so it fits right inside the glasses. That is supposed to also sense motion in a forward, back, left, right, and up and down for what they call 6 degrees or 6 dimensions of rotation or of motion tracking is what they call it. So, but we got to get the glasses to work first before we start trying to add super cool motion tracking and whatnot. So the issue we had with the first computer is it'll go to install, but when it gets to the part it wants to install the drivers for the 2 cameras, it fails every time. So we spent a while trying to debug that. Then he installed on his laptop.
And it installed fine, and it would work, and I could launch the demos, but upon exiting the demos, they wouldn't exit, and then my computer would blue screen and crash.
And so what happens on the demo is there's one where it puts these kind of 3D objects on there. And if you look at that paddle again that we were talking about, these things, if you look at this, and this gets covered by a 3D, there was like a platform and then some spheres, and one was rotating. And if you turn this, the 3D elements will actually rotate with the paddle. So again, it looks interesting, but when you hit escape, it crashes the machine, which every time led to a blue screen.
Yeah.
So that, I don't know if that's an intended functionality. I hope not. We tried on a third machine. We tried on a laptop, and on that laptop, it installed, and we were able to run the demos and escape out of them without it crashing the machine. The second machine was a little bit faster than the first. Was there any? Do you think it tracked any faster, or do you think it didn't matter? We don't know right now.
Yeah, it was hard to tell, because if I had worn them, it may have been a little different
Sure.
looking at it, but they seemed about equivalent. But
So the thing we noticed with it was, so when you put the paddle up, the 3D image won't appear until it sees the marker, fiduciary marker they call it. Once it shows up, it exists on the screen or in your eyes, and you can move it back and forth, and it will follow it as long as you're moving it at about this pace. If you get any faster than this, then it starts to lose tracking. So you have only so much speed, and so we're going to bring a desktop in next week and see if that's a limit of the software or if a limit on the machine, and we'll check to see what we can do there. Another issue we noticed was that if you take the marker out of the sight of the cameras altogether, the 3D item just remains in view. So that'll be something I think over the next couple months that hey, if you don't see the marker,
it should go away.
Right, it shouldn't just exist as an artifact in the middle of the air.
Yeah. And from everything that I've read, nothing says that it stays there. Everything says, like, even the demo we watched, the guy with the dragon,
Yeah.
his went away when he moved the marker.
Right. So it might still just be initialization issues.
Yeah.
So kind of wish it was a little bit more straightforward, but we'll work it out, and then you'll find each week we'll kind of put in our details on what we did to successfully get there and make that all work a little bit more easily. A nice thing to note is that the Max Reality is, again, a custom plugin. You get a product key with the purchase of these things, or at least our graduate school did. You can use, for student purposes, you can use a student free copy of Autodesk 3D, which will allow us to modify those 3D objects that will attach themselves to the marker. So once we have the glasses up and running, then we'll do a little more with that. And again, we'll chronicle what we've done. Is there anything else we need to add?
I don't think so.
Alright, so we'll be trying to post these each week to kind of show what progress we're making, and hopefully the presentation of videos will get a little bit better as well. And yeah, that's all we have for right now. Thanks.